Thank you. So I hear this is a place where you are all about connection and self-actualization. Now, I saw that on the slide. I had a couple of people tell me that before. Is it true? True? Connection? Yes? Self-actualization? It really wasn't very convincing, but okay. I'm not going to argue with you about that. And what I want to bring forward in this time is true connection and the opportunity for each one of us to think about and then move into what is important to do so that we actually do move to self-actualization. Now, a few days ago, I was with some friends, and they had their grandchild with them, and I was reminded of those beginning steps whenever you're learning something new, right? Can you imagine a small child, infant, just beginning to walk and having those little chubby legs, looking so cute, and they've been watching these big people stand up and move around on two legs while they've been crawling and using their hands and their arms and their knees. And one day, that baby says, wait, I can do that. I think I can do that. If they can do it, I can do it. And the baby reaches around to whatever's close, a coffee table, the sofa, a chair, the recliner, and the baby pulls up and stands and wobbles and falls. Does the baby stop? No. The baby maybe waits a few moments. Maybe it's the next day, finds another chair or sofa and pulls up. And you all are the silly people who would be standing there going, oh, come on, that's really good. Yes, you can do it. And they're like, what are you talking about? But they like the encouragement, and they stand, and then they take a step. And the crowds applaud, right? The grandparents, the parents, the neighbors, everyone is so excited. You get on Facebook, you see the pictures, baby's first steps. And the baby falls after a couple of steps. And then what you notice is after trying it over and over and over again, all of a sudden you realize one day the baby pulls up and turns, and maybe someone's on the other side saying, come to me, and the baby just kind of wobbles. And we're so excited. Self-actualization in action. Because every time we are learning something new or having a new experience, what's happening is that we're like that baby taking some new steps that maybe we've seen other people get through or model or demonstrate, but we ourselves haven't yet done it. And so we make a decision to try it, and we fall down and get up. We fall down and get up. And then all of a sudden we realize we're doing it. And in that moment, we're like the infant or the young child who realizes, well, you might have had some doubt, but I didn't have any doubt. And I don't know why you were there going, hey, that's so cute. Come on, come to me. Like, what's all that drama for? I'm just doing what I see everybody else doing. I knew I could do it. The baby is in no doubt, no drama. The baby is simply doing its next best thing. And that's what we have the opportunity to do in our lives every day. So today, we are going to move from doubt to decision. That point where we decide what is next. That point where we choose what is our next step, what is our next job, what is our next relationship, what is our next thing to do for our health, for our finances, what is our next step? We move from doubt to decision. Now, when I say it like that, to me, it sounds like, well, yeah, that's simple. And then some of you start smiling and laughing right away because you, like me, have been in situations where you even think you know what direction you want to go, but all of those doubts are coming into your head, and you find yourself backing away, maybe not physically, but emotionally and unconsciously, you find yourself backing away, and you're allowing the doubts to rule you, to run you, to slow you down. But what we teach in Science of Mind is that the law takes action based on the directions you give it. I'm going to say that again. The law takes action based on the directions you give it. It is listening to you, paying attention to what you think, how you feel, what you say, and what you do. And it responds accordingly. Universal law, the law of spiritual action, moves based on the directions you give it. So all you have to do is think again about the baby learning to walk. That baby is clear. I don't even know what it's called. The baby doesn't say, yeah, today would be a good day to start walking. The baby doesn't have the vocabulary. The baby doesn't know exactly what to do or what to call it, but it has made a very clear decision to do what it has seen modeled because it looks cool or people are getting around faster than the baby has been able to, and it figures, I'm going to do that. And it becomes single focus. The decision is made. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be able to do that. So the law takes action based on that. And the baby might try and fall and try and fall and try and fall, but the law, spiritual law, swooshes in to help the baby find its balance and learn how to walk. The process is no different. Spiritual law is the same for you. If you decide you want to move to a new city, you decide you want to find a new job, you decide that it's time for you to have a change in relationships, whether that's romantic relationships or friendships, the law will support you based on the directions and you give it through your intentions and your actions. Now, one of the really cool things about spiritual law is that the law is impersonal. Now, I don't mean by that the law is aloof and unfriendly. I mean that it's impersonal in that it will respond the same way to each person who uses it, who sets the intentions, and who follows those intentions with actions. It doesn't matter if you are a millionaire or if you only have $1 a day. It's impersonal. It does not decide how to respond based on your personality, your condition, or your circumstances. And this is a good thing because you don't have to do anything to earn the law. The law is always working. Spiritual law is always working. It is always working for your good or in support of what you have determined is your good. And in case you didn't know, you're the one who gets to determine that. The universe only has one word in its vocabulary, and I know some of you know what that word is. On the count of 3, that word is 1, 2, 3. Yes. It's the only word it knows. So when you give it the direction, like the baby gave it the direction, it's time for me to walk. Whatever that's called, I'm going to do that. The universe says yes. Yes. And so it's impersonal, it's always working you. You are not an exception. It doesn't work for Jean or Reverend Lee, but it won't work for you. No, that's not how it works. No one of us is an exception to the fact that spiritual law is always looking to move in, rush in, and deliver on that which we have decided we wanted, individually and collectively. So some things that happen are happening because our culture has collectively moved in a certain direction and the universe says yes. And many things in our lives happen because we personally have gotten clear about something we want to experience or manifest, and the universe says yes to that. So you don't get to be an exception. You don't get to say, oh, that works for Steve Curry. Look at what a wonderful musician he is. I could never have what I want. Yeah, you can. You just have to decide to choose what you want and move toward it. Ernest Holmes wrote, "The field through which thought operates is infinite. There is no reason to doubt it." The field through which thought operates is infinite. It has no limit. And there's no reason to doubt it because it is always working, always moving us forward, always delivering our best and highest good. So when we doubt it, when we doubt ourselves, when we doubt that we can have that which we want, what we are attracting is delay. Example. So before I moved to Texas, I lived in Chicago and loved Chicago, still love Chicago. I just don't love Chicago winters. And so about 3 years ago, I realized I had not even visited Chicago at that time in, I think it was 3 or 4 years, which was when I realized it was like, oh, that's just not okay. I love Chicago. I want to go. I need to go every 18 months or at least. And so I was really clear. I am going to go to Chicago. I am going to stay in Chicago a minimum of 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm going to get some work while I'm there, and I'm going to roller skate because I love to roller skate. And I had in my mind all these things I wanted to do, the people I wanted to see. And I was really excited. I'm going to Chicago, and this was like February. And so I'm thinking I'm going to go to Chicago sometime between May and September. Good. I'm focused. I've decided. About a week later, I realized that I was thinking, well, I do want to go to Chicago. But, I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford to be there for 2 to 3 weeks. Well, maybe, I have 4 or 5 friends there. Maybe I could spend a few days with each person. Well, I couldn't stay with them more than 3 or 4 days at a time. And I don't think that's going to work. I just got to find a way to make more money so I can just go and stay in a hotel for 3 weeks. But what was happening was I was beginning to doubt whether or not I really could make this trip happen. I'm not sure I can afford it. I'm not sure it's a good time for my friends. Oh, I need to find out what the roller skating schedule is, not so I could plan the trip, but to figure out if that's a good time to go. And I started putting all these barriers in the way. And I don't have to tell you that, of course, that was 3 years ago, and I didn't go. Things happened, things came up, and next thing I knew, I was talking to a close friend who lives there, and he was saying, well, I thought you were coming this year. Well, it was October 10th or 15th. And I'm like, well, I was, but it's October. All bets are off. I don't go to Chicago between October and May. I mean, you could have snow or something. What is the deal? So again, I delayed the trip because I'm putting limitations on it. But it was the doubt that had creeped in. And I realized in hindsight, every time I thought about this trip to Chicago, the first thing I thought about were all the reasons it might not work out. But if I talked to someone, I would be like, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to come. I'm really excited. I'm going to come. I'm going to figure it out. Doubt is the seed for delay. And we do it to ourselves because the universe has already said yes. But it's my doubt that puts distance between me and the manifestation of my desire. Doubt also creates drama. Now, some of you know people who are attracting and creating drama about everything or many things in their lives. You're here in a place where we connect and are focused on self-actualization, so I know it's not you. But you know people, like I have a friend. I have a friend that I can't talk to her for 15 minutes, and she doubts that something will happen, and then it becomes a drama because then it proves itself out, and then she tells me all the reasons why it didn't happen, and how all these people are in her way, and it just can't happen. And this person did this, and this person did this, and this person did that, and I'm a victim to the world. Doubt that you can actually be who you came here to be. Doubt that you can actually achieve what you want to achieve. Doubt that you can have what you want to have creates drama in your life because you talk about all the ways it's not working out. Really, you could decide to do something different. You could remember all the times where you are very clear that there's no need for doubt and there's no need for drama. Think about it. Maybe not today, but there are days when you look outside and you see the clouds and the blue sky, and it's beautiful. You don't have any doubt that there is a higher power that has created an amazing, beautiful world. You don't have any doubt that those are clouds. You look up and you go, look at the clouds. They're so pretty. And you don't create any drama about it. You simply appreciate it. You notice it. And you know it just like you know the color of the shoes you have on. And let me see how many people look down because you don't remember what color shoes you have on. Right? So there's no doubt or drama because you are clear. You are sure. You don't go to prayer to ensure that there are clouds in the sky or that the sky is blue. There's no doubt, there's no drama when you look in your garden and you see the beautiful rose. You know it's a rose, you know how it got there, you know it's a plant, you know it's beautiful, you know it's a flower. You don't have, at least I'm guessing, you don't have any drama about, did you see those roses in my garden, in my yard? Why aren't they tulips? I don't know what I was thinking when I planted a rose bush. I've always liked forsythia bushes better. We don't create drama around it. We go, oh, it's beautiful. They're roses. I planted them, or the people who lived here before me planted them, and they're going to bloom and blossom. And there's no doubt what they are, that they serve a beautiful purpose, and there's no need for drama about it. When you see the birds in the sky, you don't say, hey, wait. Where's your camera? Get your camera out. Take a picture because that bird's flying. And Birds don't always fly. You know, sometimes they drop down out of the sky because they think they can fly, but they really can't. And so you better get a picture before it drops. You know, you better get that picture really fast. No, you don't create any drama around that. You know it's a bird. It has wings. It flies. And more often than not, you do what the musicians Lisa and Etika talk about. You notice it with awe. Lisa and Etika have a song that says in the lyrics, if you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. If you're not in awe of life unfolding and expressing, you're not paying attention. So there's really no need for you to be in any doubt. If you know that the clouds and the sky are a natural evolution and expression of God, if you know that the rose bush is going to be the rose bush and it's going to show up as roses on a regular cycle, if you know and believe that birds fly and it is beautiful to see them, then why do you doubt that the law is working for you? Why do you doubt that universal law, that spiritual law, that God, that Spirit is working on your behalf to deliver that which is important to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year? I'm just here to remind you, no need for you to create doubt. No need for you to create drama. Look for the good that is happening in your life. For we are surrounded by an intelligence that knows everything. Everything. Can you say that and take it in? It knows everything. But what we draw from it, we must draw through the channels of our own minds. Spirit knows everything. That higher power is formless, it is energy, it is infinite, and it has created all that is life. What I can draw from it is only limited by the channel of my own mind. And so the tool that we teach in science of mind and in religious science, the tool that we teach is mental treatment, spiritual mind treatment. And it is just as powerful as any medical treatment, any psychological treatment. It is a mental treatment of your thinking and of your belief system. And we teach it and we practice it and we use it because it works. A treatment is an active thing. When one gives a treatment, whether it is giving it for someone else or giving a treatment to and for yourself, they are not sitting around hoping that something may happen. On page 49 in the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes, in talking about treatment, says hope is a subtle illusion. If you are doing a spiritual mind treatment and you are hoping it will work, then you are not using the full power of your mind. I mean, think about it. Let's say you're going to, I have a good friend who's having major surgery, not dental surgery. He's having major surgery on Wednesday. Do you think he's sitting around today saying, I hope my surgeon has been to medical school? Do you think he's sitting around today saying, well, I hope the anesthesiologist knows what she's doing? So you don't want the doctor or the anesthesiologist showing up saying, well, I hope I know how to do this surgery. So why would you, if you were doing a mental treatment, why would you minimize it? Why would you deplete it? Why would you weaken it by saying, well, I hope this works? It's like, just don't even do it. If you're going to just hope, stand in that place of knowing that you are using the infinite power of the divine and putting it to work for you. That's what Ernest Holmes is talking about. That's what the practitioners are doing. When you come up and they pray with you and for you, they know that your life is unfolding perfectly, and whatever it is you want, you can have it. Ernest Holmes also says, a treatment is a statement in the law. It is accompanied by an unqualified faith. Unqualified faith that the law works for me. I don't know. Do you think the law works for you? Is there anybody in here who believes that? Or am I just like making it up? I know that the law works for me, and that is the unqualified faith that is required if you are going to not be limited by doubt, and if you are going to turn your back on drama. Unqualified faith. So when you are using the mental treatment, spiritual mind treatment, or affirmative prayer, we move from drama to demonstration. Demonstrating the power of the divine, demonstrating the beauty of the world, demonstrating joy, peace, balance, harmony, wholeness, wellness, demonstrating that God is working right here. There is a living God. There is a living presence. It is living in, as, and through me and each one of you. That is what we teach in Science of Mind. And if you are in this room, then there is a power for good, and you can use it just like I do, just like Reverend Lee does, just like anyone who is a practitioner does. Because the reality is, you don't have to be a licensed practitioner to practice Science of Mind. You are practicing it. And when you have questions, there are lots of people who can help you practice it as well. So, no doubt, no drama, just demonstration. I love this young man, right? That assuredness, that confidence. Do you have that? If you do, repeat after me. No doubt, no drama, just demonstration. No doubt, no drama, just demonstration. No doubt, no drama, just demonstration. That is your task this week, to take that out into your life, into whatever is happening tomorrow, whatever is happening Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Remind yourself, I have no doubt. I have no drama in my life. It is just demonstration. And maybe one or more of you are going through a fire. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe it's a medical diagnosis. Maybe it is a relationship change or loss. Maybe it is the death of a close family member. It can show up as fire. That doesn't mean your good is not on its way. You go through the fire. Lainey Bernstein has a song called Miracle's Ledge, and just one part of the lyrics are, I walked through the flood. I walked through the fire. Waiting on the other side, my soul's desire. So we use spiritual mind treatment. We do that in complete and total and unqualified faith. But as we treat, we also move our feet and do our part of moving into the truth in our life and our expression. Ernest Holmes says, faith. In a certain specific statement, i.e. a spiritual mind treatment, an affirmation, a clear intention, faith has the power consciously to oppose, neutralize, erase, and obliterate the opposite mental attitude. Obliterate the doubt. Obliterate the drama. And go into this week with no doubt, no drama, just demonstration. Please join me in prayer. Breathing into that centermost place, however you find your center, that place within you where there is no room for doubt and there is no seed for drama, for it is that centeredmost place that is the life, the breath of the divine. I know there is only one power, one presence, one intelligence, and one boundless love that is the source of all life, all of creation. And I know that everyone within the sound of my voice has been created by that same source. And because of that oneness, because of that connection, each one can never be separated from the divine. So I speak this word knowing that right here, right now, is the perfect time to begin to live a life that is fully self-actualized, to move toward best and highest good, to claim it, to know it, to see it, and to be it. I'm so grateful for knowing that the law is always working and always seeking to support everyone who sets intentions with clarity and lives them with conviction. This is the truth of life. This is the truth of spiritual law, and I am gratefully accepting it now. So I release this prayer, this knowing into the flow of divine activity, knowing it is completed in the mind of God already. And the mind of God is reconfiguring everything that needs to be reconfigured so that it comes into manifestation, demonstration right here, right now, always and forever, eternally present. And if you, like me, know that this is the absolute truth, then I invite you to join me in affirming it by repeating after me. Amen. Aho. Ashe, and so it is.
I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm so grateful that you took your time to watch or listen to this message. If you found this message beneficial, I would ask that you go to our website, agapecsl.com. Once there, click on the donate button and experience the joy of conscious and purposeful giving. Or if you would like, text your gift by simply dialing 972-532-6976. It is through your gifts that we are able to bring this message to you in the world. I would ask that if you like this message, to please subscribe to my YouTube channel under my name, Lee Wolak. Again, I want to thank you for joining me in the Agape community as we learn how to better self-love through conscious living.